Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about directions. Directions is a very important topic and a very interesting topic to learn too. And directions is something that we use in our day-to-day life. Let's say you have to go to a shop and you don't know the way to go to the shop. What will you do? You'll ask somebody for the directions. So directions is a topic which everybody has to know. If you're traveling, if you have to read a map, if you're asking for the route to reach a place, for all these you need to know directions. So let's get started. There are 4 major directions. Which are the 4 major directions? I'm sure all of you will be able to say that with me. North, south, east and west. And this diagram that I have drawn here is called as the directions diagram. And this is a very important diagram that you need to know. Whenever you have questions that come from this topic in the examination, the first thing that you have to draw is this diagram. With the help of this diagram, you can solve any question that comes from this topic directions. So the 4 major directions are north, south, east and west. So you can memorize it like this. In the clockwise direction, when you write the directions, it will be N-E-S-W. See, not news, N-E-S-W. N, first N comes, then E comes, then S comes and then W comes in the clockwise direction. These major directions are also called as cardinal directions. In real life situations, how will we identify the directions? Let's say you are traveling. How will you identify the direction? If you have a map, yes, that will be helpful. But there is an instrument that is generally used to find out directions, and that is called as a compass. With the help of a compass, you will be able to identify directions, whether it is north, south, east or west. If you have a compass, you can very easily identify the direction. Nowadays, compasses are available readily in smartphones itself. If you don't have a compass, tell me, how can you identify the direction? There is a natural object which lets you identify the direction. What is that? It's the sun. Yes, and just by looking at the sun and knowing the time of the day, you will be able to identify the directions. How can we identify the directions with the help of the sun? We all know that the sun rises in the east and the sun sets in the west. By the time it's evening, it goes to the west. By looking at the position of the rising and the setting sun, you will be able to say which is east and which is west. So if you don't have a compass in hand or if you don't have a map, the best way to find out the direction is to look at the sunrise and sunset and know the directions. The sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. Let us look at this diagram that is there on your screen now. So this diagram represents cardinal and intercardinal direction. See, we already learned there are 4 directions, right? North, south, east and west. What did I call this diagram? I call this diagram as the directions diagram, which you have to draw whenever a question on direction comes in an examination, because it will help you solve the question. And this is a diagram that you will see in all maps also. Generally north, south, east, west, that will be represented in whatever map that you are reading. Let us say there is a school here, okay? There is a school here. So I can say that the school is in the north direction. And if I have a hospital, okay, I have a hospital and I can say that the hospital is in the east direction. Now, if I have a toy store somewhere here, okay, I have a toy store here, can you tell me which direction is this in? Is this in north direction or is it in east? It's somewhere in between, right? So we can say that the toy store is in the northeast direction, that is between north and between east, or it is northeast. So that is what is represented here in this diagram. North, this is northeast. Between north and east is northeast. Similarly, the direction between south and east is called as southeast. The direction between South and west is called as southwest, and the direction between north and west is called as northwest. So these four directions, that is southeast, southwest, northeast and northwest, they are called as intercardinal directions. So this diagram here represents all the directions that you will need to know, that is north, east, south, west and northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. So here when we write NW, NE, SC and SW, don't get confused. NE represents north, east, that is between north and east. Similarly, SE represents south, east, that is between south and east. SW represents south, west, that is between south and west. And similarly, NW represents north, west, that is between north and west. Directions. Let us practice a bit as to what we learned. Now you can see a map of India here, which is north. I always tell you, right, whenever you have to find out the directions, draw the directions diagram. This is your north, this is your south, this is your east and this is your west. Which is north here? This is north, this is east, this is west and this is south. I hope it's clear. Let's look at one more question. Identify the directions in this figure. There is a person standing here and there are different places like the library, the toy store, the zoo, flower shop, hospital. There is a park, museum, school. Let us try to find out in which direction is each of these places with respect to the person in the figure. Let us do it one by one. First, let us look at the flower shop. Okay, let us try to find out in which direction is the flower shop with respect to the person here in the diagram. So, like I said, whenever we have a question on directions, let us first try to draw the directions diagram so that it is easier for us to solve the questions. N, E, S, W. This is the major direction. These are the major directions. And where is the flower shop? The flower shop is on this side of the person, that is like this, in this direction. Or what direction is that? That is east. Or I can say that the flower shop is to the east of the person. Next, let us look at the toy store. Where is the toy store? The toy store is in this direction with respect to the person. Or if you compare it with the directions diagram, you get that it is in the north direction. Or I can say that the toy store is in the north of the person. Next, let us look at the school. In which direction is the school? The school is in this direction with respect to the person. Or which direction is this? It is west. Or I can say that the school is to the west of the person and the park is to the, in this direction, that is the park is to the south of the person. Let us look at the remaining places also. There is a zoo. In which direction is the zoo there with respect to the person? The zoo is in this direction with respect to the person. What direction is this? In the directions diagram, how will you represent the direction of the zoo? It is like this, right? It is not north, it is not east. It is in between north and east, or you can say it is northeast. NE, that's the short form of northeast. Or I can say that the zoo is to the northeast direction of the person. Next, let us look at the library. In which direction is the library? The library is like this. That is, it is between north and west, or the direction is nothing but northwest. The library is to the northwest of the person. That is northwest. Similarly, look at the museum. The museum is to which direction of the person? The museum is to the southwest of the person. It is between south and west. Between south and west is southwest. Similarly, between south and east is southeast. So, the hospital is to the southeast of the person. The hospital is to the southeast of the person. Now we have identified the direction of all the places with respect to the person. I hope it is clear. I hope all of you now have an idea of the major directions, that is the cardinal directions and the intercardinal directions, and how to identify them, and how to identify in which direction is different places located with respect to a person or with respect to an object. And I'm sure all of you also know how to identify the directions by looking at the sunrise and sunset. If you have any doubts in any of these, please do let me know in the comments box and I'll be happy to help you. And do subscribe to our channel to get more such videos. Thank you.